guys, and welcome to another episode of Classics on Audio. This lovely Wednesday, you'll notice I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm going on vacation this week, so I've recorded these videos in advance. So just pardon that. I'm just wearing the same shirt. It's fine. So today we're going to be reading Chapter 10 of Emily of New Moon. I don't know why I'm blanking on the days of the week that I post. Okay, so on Monday I read chapter 9, and that's the chapter where Emily's teacher totally makes fun of her in front of the whole class, and I was really surprised how much, and every single time that I read any sort of historical book at all, or any sort of classic, I'm surprised at how much power the teachers have as far as, like, they can hurt the kids if they do bad stuff. They can make fun of them in front of the whole class, because most of that stuff would never slide these days. So, we are going to be reading Chapter 10. Chapter 10, Letters to Father. Dear Father, I am a famous heroine. Isla asked me to stay all night because her father won't be home until very late. So I asked Aunt Elizabeth, even though I hardly dared hope, and she said yes. Later I heard her talk to Aunt Laura in the pantry, and she said it was a shame the way the doctor leaves that poor child so much alone at nights. And Aunt Laura said the poor man is warped. He was not like that before his wife. And then Aunt Elizabeth said, "Shh. Little pitchers have big ears." I knew she meant me. I wish I could find out what Isla's mother did. It worries me after I go to bed. Isla has no idea. Once she asked her father, and he told her never to mention that woman again. Another thing that worries me is Silas Lee, who killed his brother at the old well. How dreadful he must have felt. I went to Isla's and we played in the garret. I like this in the daytime, I said, but it must be awful queer at night. Mice, said Isla, and spiders and ghosts. Nonsense, I said, because it didn't feel queer. It's easy to talk, said Isla. I bet you wouldn't stay up here alone all night. I wouldn't mind it a bit, I said. Then I dare you to do it, said Isla. I dare you to sleep here all night. Then I saw I was in an awful scrape, Father, dear. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm having the hardest time reading this. Okay. Then I saw I was in an awful scrape, Father dear. I was a fool to boost. If I didn't do it, Isla would remind me every time we fought, and she'd tell Teddy, and he'd think I was a coward. So I said I'll do it, Isla Burnley, and I'm not afraid. But oh, I was, inside. We dragged out an old feather bed, and Isla gave me a pillow. It was dark by then, and Isla wouldn't go up with me. I got into bed and blew out the lamp, but I couldn't sleep. The moonlight made the garret look weird. I don't know exactly what weird means, but I feel the garret was it. At last I heard the doctor driving in, and then I felt better, and before long I was asleep, and I had a terrible dream. A big newspaper came and chased me, and then it was on fire, and just as it caught me, I woke up, and I smelled smoke. It was coming from the rag room, and I could see firelight under the door. I yelled and tore down to Isla's room and woke her father, and then all three of us ran up and down the garret stairs with pails of water, and we made an awful mess, but we got the fire out. Who said the doctor a few minutes later would have been too late? I put on a fire when I came in, and a spark must have got out. I see a hole in the plaster. How did you discover the fire, Emily? I was sleeping in the garret, I said. What were you doing there? Isla dared me, I said. You little devil, said the doctor. I supposed it is awful to be called a devil, but I sounded like a but it sounded like a compliment. Yesterday, the Shrewsbury Weekly Times came, and the story was there how the fire was discovered in time by Miss Emily Starr. Okay, I apologize. I'm having a hard time reading this because it's Emily's letters and she's not great at spelling. So, discovered is spelled Diskovered. So, I apologize because it looks like this whole chapter might just be letters that she's written to her father. So, I'm going to try my best. May 20th. Yesterday was my birthday, dear father. It will soon be a year since I came to New Moon. I feel as if I had always lived there. I have grown 2 inches. Cousin Jimmy measured me. Aunt Laura made me a lovely cake, and she gave me her pink satin brocade. What will you do with that? Asked Isla. I'll keep it with my treasures and look at it because it's beautiful, I said. Aunt Elizabeth gave me a dictionary. That was a useful present, but when I'm writing something, I get so excited I hate to stop to hunt up a word to see how it is spelled. Cousin Jimmy gave me a big, thick, blank book. It will be so nice to write pieces in. But I will still use the old letter bills to write to you, dear father, because I can fold them up and address them like real letters. Teddy gave me a picture of myself. Perry gave me a young hen, and I can sell all her eggs. Isla gave me a box of candy. June 1st. Dear father, I wrote my first letter today. I mean my first letter to go in the mail. It was to Great Aunt Nancy, who lives at Priest Pond. Write a nice letter, said Aunt Elizabeth, and I will read it over. June 7th. Great Aunt Nancy wrote Aunt Elizabeth that I must be a very stupid child to write such a stupid letter. I felt insulted because I am not stupid. I could not write an interesting letter when Aunt Elizabeth was going to read it. Teddy and Perry and Isla and we were living in the days of knights and ladies. Sometimes we play at the tansy patch. I have a queer feeling that Teddy's mother hates me this summer. Last summer she just didn't like me. The cats are not there now. Teddy is sure his mother got rid of them because she thought he liked them too much. June 14th. We have compositions in school now. Today I learned that you put in things like this. When you write what somebody says, she put oh my goodness, why am I blinking? Quotation marks. When you write what somebody says, and after a question, a mark like this, a question mark. That's what she wrote. And when a letter is left out, a mark like a comma in the air. Miss Brownell is mean, but she does teach you things. I want to be fair, even if I do hate her. I like writing about people I don't like. Aunt Laura is nicer to live with than Aunt Elizabeth, but Aunt Elizabeth is nicer to write about. I can describe her faults, but I feel wicked if I say anything unkind about dear Aunt Laura. Your lovingest daughter, Emily B. Starr. That was 10 chapter 10, Letters to Father. I think it was interesting that they put in a collection of her letters, and the fact that Emily obviously has troubles with spelling, and you heard in that last letter she's learning her punctuation. So I thought it was an interesting addition to the book that obviously I think is going to come in handy in the next chapter or the next few chapters. But I thought it was interesting that they decided to include those. So I hope you enjoyed chapter 10 of Emily of New Moon, and I will see you on Friday for chapter 11.